There are many issues that transgenders face just because of their choice of gender display. Being transgender means being biologically born either male or female, but internally feeling like the opposite sex. Transgenders make up about 0.3% of the U.S. population. Because of this, many transgenders will act, dress like, and live the life of the opposite sex because this is who they feel most comfortable with being. However, today coming out during childhood is much different than adults who come out as being transgender today. These two groups face many similarities as they are both prone to violence, discrimination, and other internal issues from the stigma associated with not conforming to gender norms. Transgenderism can be viewed using three different sociological theoretical lenses: symbolic interactionism, queer theory, and gender role theory. Transgenders do not fit into the heterosexual or gender norms. Queer theory emphasizes that sex and gender roles society imposes on people is too rigid. Finally, gender role theory states that a particular culture says which sets of behaviors are appropriate for each gender. All of these perspectives apply to the issues and challenges transgender adults and youth face in transitioning.
Transgender children exist in the real world, and how they experience the development of their true identities may affect their lives as adults. Natasha Kennedy in 2008, it was found that the average age of gender identification was at age 8. It was also found that more than 80% of transgender people become aware that they are transgender before they leave primary school. Children start to understand gender identity between the ages of 3 and 4, and this develops over the next 2 years as they also become aware of social interpretations of gender as an invariant category. Their perceptions of their differences from the other children not only affect their internal feelings of themselves, rather too, the decisions they make, and most importantly, regarding how they express themselves. It is here that symbolic interactionism is prevalent, whether the child is experiencing their masculinity or femininity, that in a much deeper sense symbolizes who they are and who they know they are.
In looking at transgender children compared to transgender adults, they do have a lot of similarities. However, there is a major difference in the acceptance of trans people when they're coming out today as children compared to dealing with issues of transgenderism as an older adult. As a 77-year-old described, being transgender in the 1930s was hard because they had to try to live both lives at once. The suicide rate and the substance abuse rates were high for these people due to stress. On the other hand, a 19-year-old said they came out over Facebook through a status. They tagged the people who they felt should know and who they felt would be accepting, and a great majority of them were. In addition, the suicide rates of transgender people are extremely high. 41% have attempted suicide at some point in their lives compared to just 4.6% in the general population. Limited social support, poverty, substance abuse, and rejection by loved ones all contribute to there being a higher risk of suicide for them. As would be expected for this group, they are also plagued with being faced with anxiety and depression. All in all, transgender adults do not feel that the public is generally accepting of them.
Overall, some doctors and mental health experts say prevention begins with acceptance and kindness, especially by parents. It is apparent that transgendered individuals have a long way to go in order to receive acceptance by society as a whole. Programs and policy recommendations would raise awareness of non-conforming gender roles. A great step towards a more accepting community is implementing these programs from elementary school up to high school to help individuals better understand the transgender identity.